Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to today's video and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about two different webcams from OBSBot. Now this video isn't going to be a full review of each unit. It's going to be more of an overview on how these units are different while going over a bunch of the basic features that each unit has. One of these webcams I did a review for a few months back, which was the OBSBot Tiny 2. Which is the successor of the Tiny 4K. Now we know during this holiday season that a lot of people are going to be trying to get new webcams for their setups. And in this video today, we're going to be looking at some of the key differences between these two units right here to help let you make a better educated decision on which one of these two units might be better suited for the need that you have. Now, one of the first differences that you're going to have between these two units is going to be video quality. The sensor on the original Tiny 4K is still larger than a lot of different webcams that you're going to find out there, which is going to give you better color, better detail. The Tiny 2, however, has increased that image sensor up quite a bit, up to a 1/1.5, which is a considerably sized sensor for this unit and currently has one of the largest sensors on the market out of any of the webcams that are out there. Now, to put in perspective what this sensor compares to, the iPhone 14 Pro has a sensor size of 1/1.28, which is the equivalent to 48 megapixels. The OBSBot Tiny 2 comes in at 1/1.5, which puts it up around 50 megapixels for the sensor, so it even has a slightly larger sensor than the default main camera on the iPhone 14 Pro. Now, you can see in side-by-side footage that as good as the original Tiny 4K looks, the Tiny 2 is going to give you a bit more contrast, much more detail. It's going to be much better in lower light scenarios and give you a better image quality overall. Now, my opinion after using this is that this is at the cusp of using an entry-level camera for a webcam without having to go into all the additional cost of getting a camera, lenses, capture cards, or any of that type of thing. Now, while both webcams perform pretty good under low light, the Tiny 2 has a native dual ISO, which is going to allow the camera to have a secondary ISO for low light situations that will just bring everything up without really hurting your image quality too much. You're not going to get a lot of noise introduced. And even in a lower light situation, you're going to get a very clean, sharp picture. Now, if you're using this during the day in a nicely lit environment, you don't have to make any changes to the unit itself. It's going to automatically go back down to that lower ISO. That way you don't end up blowing out any of your shot just because the lighting is higher. Now, if you want to adjust any of this stuff yourself, you absolutely can using the OBSBot software, which gives you control of any of the settings within this camera unit. That way you can kind of tweak them to your own liking. Now, the next major difference between these two units is the all-focus auto pixel system. The Tiny 4K had one of the better autofocus systems at its time, being able to focus on you, and if you put something directly in front of the camera, shift focus quickly to that item, and then if you move it back to you. Now, with the Tiny 2, because they also have a better AI tracking system, which we're going to get into later, the autofocus is much better as well. It's using all the pixels within the field of view to use its focus, which is going to give you a much cleaner, crisp focus on pretty much anything that you have in the frame. Now, this is more in line with what you're going to get from higher-end cameras like what I'm using to film this video. And it's not something that you widely see within webcam technology. One of the things OBSBot has done extremely well is try to take some of the best features that you're going to get in a full-size camera and somehow get them into a very tiny, compact webcam without really diluting those features at all, kind of giving these units the best of both worlds. Now, with the 50 million autofocus points, it's not only going to be more accurate, it's going to be faster. So it's not going to take this unit nearly as long to find and focus on what it needs to as what it would have done previously with the Tiny 4K or other webcams on the market. Now, in terms of connections, your Tiny 4K uses USB 2.0. The Tiny 2 has been upgraded to USB 3.0. Because of the fact that we can now send data to the computer a lot faster than what you were able to before, it's going to help with your overall image quality because the computer is going to be able to pick up that information much faster, allowing the camera itself to send more data at one time. Part of what's in that data is how you're getting your better image, the faster focus, the lack of stutter. You're going to get overall smoothness when filming in 4K with this webcam. Now, moving on to some of the AI features, the Tiny 4K revolutionized how AI in a webcam was made. Now, OBSBOT was one of the first companies to really utilize a neural engine with AI in the way that they did on a webcam. And they were really at the forefront of what a lot of other companies came in and tried to do themselves. OBSBOT absolutely still leads the way when it comes to AI technology in the webcam industry. Now, while the Tiny 2 still utilizes a lot of the same hand gestures that you would use on the original Tiny 4K in order to start recording, stop recording, to set up tracking so that the camera can follow you, the Tiny 2 takes it a step further with now you can not only set your tracking, you can adjust the zoom in and out while you're recording and tracking. They've also added audio cues. That way you can just talk to the camera without moving your hands around, and you can tell it how you want it to do. You can tell it to start tracking. You can tell it to stop recording, which is going to give you a lot more freedom when using this webcam, whether you're doing conference calls or if you're doing presentation style content. Now, as I said earlier in the video, because they've upgraded the sensor so much on the Tiny 2, that's going to make these features work even better, because with that new autofocus system, that is an all-pixel autofocus system, it's going to allow this camera to see your hand movements and where you are that much better when it's trying to track you. Now, it's up to you to decide which features you need between these two cameras when making a decision on which one of these is best for you, because if you're someone who does a lot of teaching or you're on the whiteboard, you need your camera to follow you, the Tiny 2 is going to do that much better than the Tiny 4K. If you're using this as a standard webcam situation and you're at your desk and you don't need a lot of that, that's where the standard Tiny 4K may still be suitable for you. But the Tiny 2 is still going to give you a better overall detail in your webcam just to give you that more professional look. Now, as an added bonus for streaming with the Tiny 4K, there is a way to set up a photograph or an image in the software. That way, when the unit goes to sleep, it will automatically show that information to whoever is watching your stream, whether you be live streaming on something like YouTube or Twitch, or you're within a meeting. And that way you can have a message saying, "I'll be back soon," or whatever it is that you want the message to say to anyone watching that unit. When your camera wakes back up, that will go away and it comes right back to your streaming video. The Tiny 4K was already a really good size considering that it had a built-in gimbal. With the Tiny 2, however, they were able to make it about 50% smaller, as well as give you a nice metal housing, making this unit a little bit more durable. Now, with the fact that it is smaller, it is going to be easier to carry around. So if you need to pack it up and take it with you, it is going to consume less space. With that said, both units are portable. Now, with the Tiny 2, regular price when not on sale is $329. Currently for Black Friday, OBSBOT on their website does have this unit listed for $279. And depending where else you shop for Black Friday, you may or may not find this on sale. So I will leave a link to Amazon for this unit as well as to OBSBOT directly. Now, while the pricing on the Tiny 2 is a little bit higher than that of the 4K, when you start looking at what other options you have at that price point, you're not really finding anything that has the overall look and clearness that the Tiny 2 has at $329, and also still boasts the amount of features that it has with the AI, the tracking, the voice commands, and all of the other features built into this unit. All right, guys, I don't have a lot of extra to add to this. I hope the information provided in this video helps you make an educated choice if you happen to have already been looking at OBSBOT cameras on which one of the two you might want to get into. If you were just looking for a webcam as a whole, and there was information in this video that you didn't know or it helped you change your buying decision, let me know about it. Post down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on these webcams versus other webcams, or if you have any questions at all. Now, as always, if you found this video useful, please consider hitting that thumbs up as it helps the video greatly. It also helps the channel, and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content just like this right here. Now, with that being said, until next time.